Polynomials add and subtract. To add polynomials, you line up like terms in descending order and combine the like terms either vertically or horizontally. Let's look at an addition problem where we look at adding vertically. So if I want to add these two polynomials, I'm going to set them up like I did in elementary school, like where I had all the ones, the tens, the hundreds line up. I'm going to do the same thing in this case. I'm going to have all my x squareds line up, all my x terms line up, all my constant terms line up, and then I can add up and down just like I did in elementary school, like 3x to the third plus nothing, 3x to the third. 1x squared plus 1x squared is 2x squared. Negative 2x plus negative 5x is negative 7x. And a negative 5 plus a positive 7 is positive 2. And notice how I did this by doing the highest degree down. It ended up where my answer is in standard form or descending order, where I have a degree of 3, 2, 1, 0. So I'm ending up with my answer in standard form. Now, I could do a similar problem, but do it horizontally. I'm just going to still look for my highest degree. The highest exponent I'm seeing here is an x to the third term. So I kind of want to group the like terms together. I'd put the 4x to the third together, and then I want to think about adding this positive x squared and this x squared. We could just group those together. And negative 5x and negative 4x, those are like terms. I group those together. And negative 8 and positive 11, I can group those together. In this step, you might want to do the first couple times, and then after that, you're probably going to realize you could do most of this step in your head without writing anything down. So if I look at my highest degree, that 4x to the third, there was nothing to combine or add with that. It's just 4x to the third. 1x squared plus 1x squared is 2x squared. Notice how with like terms, only the coefficient changes. The exponent on the variable all stay the same because without like terms, we can't add. And when we do add, only the coefficient, the number front and the number part in the front is the part that changes. Negative 5x plus a negative 4x is negative 9x. And last we have negative 8 plus 11 is positive 3. Notice how we don't have any double signs. I didn't do plus negative 9x. I just wrote subtract 9x. So negative signs are going to do nothing but make your problem more difficult. So try to avoid those when you can. Now to subtract polynomials, to subtract a polynomial, we're going to add the opposite of each term being subtracted and simplify. So much like when we did integers where we did keep, change, flip, or we did that integers subtracting is the same as adding the opposite, we're going to apply that same principle to polynomials, that subtracting is the same as adding the opposite. So let's look at an example. Let's say we're given subtract vertically, we're doing this up and down, 5x to the third plus x squared minus 4x minus 6, and we're going to subtract x squared minus 7x plus 9. So to subtract, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the opposite. So I'm going to take that number that's being subtracted, and I'm going to change each of the signs to its opposite. I'm going to make this positive x squared a negative x squared. Make the minus 7x a plus 7x. Make the plus 9 into minus 9. So now after I've changed the numbers to their opposites, now it's just a matter of adding like terms. 5x to the third plus nothing, 5x to the third. X squared plus a negative x squared, 0x squared. They're really opposites, and opposites cancel out. Or opposites add up to 0, like if I have negative 5 plus positive 5, there's 0. So opposites add up to 0. Negative 4x plus positive 7x adds to 3x, and negative 6 plus negative 9 is negative 15. Now this 0x squared, anything times 0 is just 0, so the x squared term is going to drop out, and notice how our answer once again is in descending order, also called standard form. Now this was an example of subtracting vertically. Let's look at a problem where we would subtract horizontally. So all along the same line, notice how it's subtract. You're going to want to look between the two polynomials. Make sure you know, are we adding, are we subtracting, are we multiplying, what kind of operation are we looking at? In this case, we're looking at subtracting. So subtracting doesn't do anything to the first term. The first term would stay the same. And then I think of this as like distributing a negative sign or distributing a negative 1 here to each of the term being subtracted. So negative 1 times x squared is negative x squared. Negative 1 times negative 5x, positive 5x. Negative 1 times positive 7 is negative 7. So after I've distributed this negative sign or distributed a negative 1, now it's just a matter of combining like terms. So once again, I want to start with my highest exponent and work my way down. So 3x to the third does not have any other x to the third terms. So bring that down to my answer. Then let's look at x squared terms. I have a plus x squared and a minus x squared. Those are going to cancel out. They're going to zero out, so x squared terms are gone. Then let's look at x's. There's a minus 2x and a plus 5x. Those combine to be a positive 3x. And then lastly, I have my constants. I have this subtract 5. Remember, we're always looking at the sign in front of the number. Minus 5 and minus 7 combine to be negative 12, and then my solution would be 3x to the third plus 3x minus 12. All right, let's apply what we know about adding and subtracting to a word problem. We have find the perimeter of the following figure. Well, we have a trapezoid. How do we find the perimeter of a trapezoid? Well, to find the perimeter, we're just going to add all the sides together. We're going to take this side plus this side plus this side plus this side, add all the sides up, and we get the perimeter. So I add 3x and 3x to get 6x, plus 4x is 12x, 10x plus 2 more x is 2x, 2x is 12x, and we get negative 2y, and negative 2y add up to negative 4y, plus a positive 3y will give us negative y. So after we've added these polynomials together with like terms, the perimeter will be 12x minus y. So let's look at you guys trying one of these on your own. So pause the video here and you guys find the perimeter of the triangle. All right, welcome back everybody. Hopefully you guys had good luck. To find perimeter of a triangle, we're going to add up all three sides. We're going to add up the 5x plus y, and 6y minus 2. And when we add up all the x's, I get 16x, and I add up all the y's, they are zeros. So the y terms will drop out and give us a perimeter of the triangle of 16x. And I hope that helps you guys get started with adding and subtracting polynomials. Have a great day. OUT spells out.